Hey guys, I hope you're doing fantastic. We have so much to cover. So much is in the news. The U.S. Senate is going to vote on a $2.5 trillion boost to the federal debt limit. Jerome Powell is set to speak tomorrow, which could likely could crash the market. Everyone's worried about that. Obviously, Kentucky, the tornadoes are just tore apart that community over the last day or so. And of course, thank you so much for all your comments in regards to the South Dakota teachers scrambling for those dollar bills. That was so demeaning in that game. I loved hearing all your stories about the video from yesterday. I loved hearing all your stories about your teachers, and that was beautiful to see. You guys are so awesome. Also, a tax loophole of $180 billion that's gone on for a decade, and why Democrats aren't going to close it. And remember, everybody who's watching this channel, the best stuff I always save for last. If you watch this channel often, you know I save the best stuff for last. A whopping $3 billion worth of stimulus money has been proposed for one state to use on an array of projects, and two stimulus checks, one going out tomorrow. We got to cover those checks to make sure you don't miss out on them. A lot of great things coming in these new proposals, and there's a lot to look forward to. Help is on the way. Also, Jerome Powell, the Fed, is saying that we're going to have stimulus all the way out to March, potentially out to June, especially with the new virus taking hold and passing the old Delta. I mean, it's gaining ground on beating out Delta. Find out which state is getting that stimulus money and what it's going to be used for. How we are one day away from thousands of folks receiving another $300, and how we can expect another $500 to go out next week. So we got some good stuff to cover. 2 checks. There's even another one for like $3,600 and $3,000. So make sure you stay tuned to it all the way to the end. Hey everybody, it's Andrew Cartwright. I hope you're truly tantalizing Tuesday, or Taco Tuesday, Tequila Tuesday. You know how we keep it real here. This is your stimulus check, second stimulus check, third stimulus check, fourth stimulus check, executive action, and stimulus package update for Tuesday, December 14th, 2021. My goal is to give you the best information to access government and private money for yourself, loved ones, and of course, your business. That's the goal here, to make sure you don't miss out. No FOMO here. You just get it straight and researched every day. Also, down below, you can check out my lending platform. 12 different programs, 75 banks, up to $5 million, and cheap interest rates. And it's all digital, so it's easy to get pre-approved. You don't have to walk into an office or anything like that. Stay tuned to this channel, though, for personal finance, real estate, stock market, crypto, credit, other investments to generate you income, save you money. Also, if you'd like to see something, make sure you throw it in the comments, because this is our channel. You and I, this is us. So tell me what you want to see if you want to see something researched. But first, Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon. Oh, and don't forget, I almost forgot, I'm giving away $2,000. We're so close. So I don't want you to miss out on the final stretch of this. You might feel defeated, you might feel beaten, but not defeated. I'll tell you that. $2,000 I'm giving away when we hit 200,000 subscribers. All you got to do is drop a comment in the comment section. We're going to pick a random comment. We're going to launch out $2,000 when we hit 200,000 subscribers. So subscribe. It helps with the total. Like the video. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Really does. And appreciate it so much. So make sure you do that so you don't lose out on the $2,000. Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon, met him, with a lot of community support and input. Great guy. They've done a lot for blockchain. Has more than 100 proposals that collectively surpass $3 billion in stimulus funds. These proposals offer things like affordable housing, childcare, access to expansion to that, childcare expansion, workforce retention, suicide prevention, and carbon capture technology for coal-fire power plants. Wyoming Department of Family Services Director Corin Schmidt said, quote, "One thing the pandemic really taught us, or showed us, is that something which many of us already knew was the fragility of human services and healthcare systems. We don't always invest in our nonprofit sector, especially on health and human services." Like, that's always forgotten, right? We don't, like, you want a Lambo? You want to help grandpa? Well, probably the Lambo came first, right? In ways that we invest in other parts of and other industries, end quote. They don't do that, but yeah, he didn't say the Lambos and grandpa. He didn't say that. Another proposal is asking to allow $150 million to continue a Wyoming Business Council-led build-out of broadband capabilities. That's been challenging in the past due to Wyoming's size, and they're kind of stretched out as far as cities, the two different places, right? Cheyenne and also Jackson Hole. The governor will still accept more proposals through 2022. However, the first phase of ARPA spending will be proposed to the legislation later this month. So they'll get that covered. This is happening in a lot of states, folks. So your state is probably enhancing something. There's $350 billion out there in states. This is an open conversation. If you live in Wyoming, reach out to the governor and make your case about the personal checks or your stimulus checks. If you think stimulus checks are more important, that's your right as a citizen. Show them how much your check will positively impact your life and why it's necessary. Just say, yeah, I need it more than you or than these other programs, because otherwise, you know what politicians do? I mean, you only got to read, the newspaper to figure out where the money goes if we don't pay attention to it. If you don't pay attention to money, it has a way of disappearing. Meanwhile, the next child tax credit will arrive December 15th. That is, guess what? Tomorrow. Tomorrow we're getting that. As you know, since it was expanded to $3,600 for children under the age of 6 years old and $3,000 for children 6 to 17 years old, people have been getting the help that they need this past year. Of course, people that it started like in July, so you got to retroactively ask for that other money back so that you can get it. So you might have missed out on half of it. So make sure you go grab that. Otherwise, it'll be in your tax return. The first half of the tax credit was delivered on a monthly basis. It began, as I said, in July, goes to December 2021. And of course, we haven't had a bill pass yet, so we don't know if it's going to continue. They say it is. That's $300 per child, and that's $600 and $250 for children between the ages of 6 and 17. So hopefully you have a child or you had a child, and that means you're going to get some money. So hopefully this gets to you. Chances are it should, but we're still waiting to see if the Build Back Better bill will have this possibly before Christmas, is what we're talking about. Of course, Biden has gotten sort of skeptical on whether we're going to get it before Christmas. We definitely hope its official pass before the end of the year, though, if we want more CTC when January 15th arrives. Why? Because the IRS is saying, excuse me, we need a little time. That's all, just a little time. Again, the last payment for 2021 is tomorrow. You can get it, the $300, and receive that monthly check, or as much as $1,300 if you only recently opted in. Yes, if you recently opted in, you went, I watched Andrew's video, which some people do. Yep, $1,300. If you had a child in 2021, expect $3,600 in the full next year's tax return, which is that you're not going to miss out on this money. But, if you want it now rather than later, unless you want the federal government to hold on to your money. And finally, a new round of stimulus checks is being sent out to thousands of eligible Americans, this time the residents of St. Louis. These payments are a part of the city's direct cash program and are worth $500 each. Yes, $500 are going to residents in St. Louis. This is some cheese, some government cheese. Well, this is state cheese. Is there federal and state cheese? There's different cheese. Residents are suffering negatively due to the pandemic and are in need of financial assistance could be eligible for this stimulus, a stimulus for $500. So we got $300, $250 tomorrow, and for St. Louis, $500. And you need to check your state. I do 50 state coverage, so you have to check that one in my, just say all 50 states, and I cover all the 50 states. To qualify, you must be a resident of St. Louis for 1 year and be below the 80% of the area's median income. For a household of one, that's $47,550, because you're probably wondering, like, how much is that? A household of four is $67,900, and a household of eight. Who has 8 people in their house? Oh my God. Yep, I guess so. $89,650. You need to provide an ID, proof of earnings, and 2 additional documents like a bank statement or some other way to verify you, like a tax return, something, a lease, a vehicle registration, something that says you are who you are and you're where you say you are. You're going to have to show some of that proof, but all easy documents that you would have: car registration, a lease agreement, some simple stuff. It predicts about 9,300 residents will qualify, and I think you may be eligible. I've covered other states that are doing this almost exact duplicate program. They copy each other just because they're not very original. Go to the city's website, check out the application process. You need to get it done before December 18th, so you got 4 days. You can get paid through the mail or on the phone. It's up to you. Further directions on whether to give will be given on a later date. We'll be covering that so that you can be covered. There are still other states and other cities sending out stimulus checks. I cover it like constantly. constantly, but I can't cover them. I'd have videos that are 2 hours long every day if I put out all the programs. Like Maryland, which is working to get the returned $500 stimulus check out to the rightful owners. California is also another one, which is sending another Golden State stimulus check this week. Those are more states. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about today's stories. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments, because I love to hear from you guys. That's your stimulus check update. Take your stimulus check update. Hey guys, I hope you're doing fantastic. We have so much to cover. So much is in the news. The U.S. Senate is going to vote on a $2.5 trillion boost to the federal debt limit. Jerome Powell is set to speak tomorrow, which could likely crash the market. Everyone's worried about that. Obviously, Kentucky, the tornadoes are just tore apart that community over the last day or so. And of course, thank you so much for all your comments in regards to the South Dakota teachers scrambling for those dollar bills. That was so demeaning in that game. I loved hearing all your stories about the video from yesterday. I loved hearing all your stories about your teachers, and that was beautiful to see. You guys are so awesome. Also, a tax loophole of $180 billion that's gone on for a decade, and why Democrats aren't going to close it. And remember, everybody who's watching this channel, the best stuff I always save for last. If you watch this channel often, you know I save the best stuff for last. A whopping $3 billion worth of stimulus.